FightHype, what do you think of Canelo Plant? It's a major fight coming up, less than a month.
It's gonna be a good fight. You know, I'm interested to see how Caleb Plant, attack Canelo. You know, if he go in there trying to do the same thing everybody else did, same results, you know, you got to find a way, you know, to get Canelo out of his comfort zone.
I believe that it's going to be a great fight. You know, whatever they got going on right now, you know, a lot of people said that Canelo won the first round, you know, but it matters when they're in the ring, you know. I feel like the fans are going to win. You know, I like both guys. You know, I love all the fighters. I love all the boxers, you know, and for what they do and what they rap, because it kind of gives me insight on what I want to be and what I don't want to be, you know. So everybody helps everybody.
You
know,
think
so
Plant will be tougher than Saunders?
I think he will be his toughest opponent since Lara. Yeah, since Lara, I will say that. I think that Caleb Plant will definitely be that, but it's confidence. You gotta have confidence. You have to have trust and faith in that. Like 99% faith, 1% love. You know what I'm saying? Like this, right? It's 99% completed, but there's that 1% that's not completed. You know why? Because it's up to us to find it, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta love yourself, know what you want. Like everybody, even Vegas was against me when I fought Lomachenko. The odds were 4-1. You know what I'm saying? Like the odds were again like 4-1. I wasn't supposed to win. You know what I'm saying? They know numbers, right? So they feel like, okay, we know exactly how this works and everything, but faith and passion and love, all things are possible with God, bro. And I was able to do that. And I knew who was against me. Shit. Where they at now? You know what I'm saying? You know, where they at now?
And you've seen Caleb spar, huh?
They're all gonna laugh at me.
And you've seen him spar over at City, right? Plenty of times, I'm sure.
I've seen him spar many times, but sparring and fighting is two different things, especially with a top fighter like Canelo. You know, but you just can't believe the hype.
His favorite fighter right now is Canelo Alvarez.
How do you think Caleb Plant does against Canelo?
¿Cómo que tú piensas de Plan y
Bueno, pelea.
contéstale en inglés?
Dale.
He knows English.
Dale,
Test it out.
What about David Benavidez?
Benavidez, what about?
Canelo and Benavidez.
He says it's a real good fight.
Is that the toughest fight out there for him?
What was that?
Is that the toughest fight out there for him, Benavidez, or do you feel it's another fight?
Si esa sería la pelea más dura para Canelo o Benavidez.
Bueno, Caleb también es bueno.
Well, he says Plan is very good also.
Okay.
Plan is also with Louis de Cubas, who's with him. So.
Do you think he's being
Might be a
underestimated?
little biased.
Do you feel like he's being underestimated heading into that fight with Canelo?
Que si tú crees que la gente no le está dando oportunidad a Plan contra Canelo.
Oh, tiene un buen estilo para dar una buena pelea.
He says Plan has a very good style to give Canelo a good fight.
And you've seen him spar up close, right, at the City boxing gym, right?
Tú lo has visto guantear.
Aquello.
Plan.
Oh, sí, bueno.
Yeah,
Peleando
he's
y
very
todo el
good.
mundo peleando.
Because he's been to his fights and they're good, very good friends.
Canelo versus Caleb Plant. How do you see that fight going? Do you think Caleb Plant can pull off that upset, or Canelo stays on top?
You know, anybody that fights Canelo, they gotta come in here and they gotta fight like Clarissa Shields, but they gotta have a man body. You know what I'm saying? Like Caleb Plant gotta come, he gotta be slick, he gotta have power, he gotta move his head, he gotta be able to hurt Canelo. Like he can't just, what's up, Jared? He can't just go in there and just, you good at just box it. Yeah, I'm good. He can't just go in there and just box him. You got to put the pressure on Canelo, and I have yet to see anybody do that to Canelo, except the great Floyd Mayweather.
Caleb Plant fight, we'll see.
What do you think of Andre working with Caleb now?
It's great look.
Does that make Caleb's chances go up? Or?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Andre's definitely going to be going to give him a game plan. Going to help give him a really good game plan. Tighten up the areas where he's weak at. Some of the flaws that he has in his game, he's going to need to. Honestly, he's going to definitely need to. I saw a lot of the same flaws that Andre sees, I'm sure. And Plant will have a better chance. Plant will have a better chance of beating Canelo if he tightens up in certain areas. Defensive flaws. It's more defensive. I see him get hit with right hands quite often. He drops his hands quite a bit. He likes to hang out along the ropes sometimes. How to deal with pressure. Uzcategui was pressuring him, was getting to him in the second half of the fight. He got to be aware of that. Canelo's going to try to use defense against, make him miss. Same way he's gonna try to do Canelo, but Canelo's not gonna get tired. And he better be in the best shape of his life because
They'll have to fight him in spots, right?
The second half of the fight is when Canelo's gonna come on, and he's gonna come on strong, and then that's where those little technical things that I see that Plant is lacking, with his defense, it's gonna come into effect. So, work on the second half of the fight. The first half, I think Plant will be all right. I think he'll be all right. I think he's quick. I think, he's a great mover. He's a good thinker.
He can get off.
He can get off. He feints a lot. I mean, he does a lot of great things that can offset Canelo in his game. But the second half is where he's going to, he's going to have to, Canelo's definitely going to try to break him down to the body. He's going to be looking for that left hook. He's going to be trying to feint him, getting him out of position, look for the overhand right, because that's the punch that I see landing a lot is the overhand for Canelo. That's an area that I think, Dre's definitely going to tighten up as well. He does those things, he can better have a chance of beating him, man. But shoot, how do you work on the back end? Start swimming, and then start swimming, do some swimming, incorporate at least one swim day where you're going back and forth doing laps and exercising in the pool. Another way to get that endurance is train before you spar. So, that's
Not
working
after.
on the back end. No, not after, not before.
A lot of guys do that. They'll spar and then hit the bag.
Yeah,
Right.
That's normal. That's normal because you want to be full. You want to have all your energy when you're sparring.
Right.
It's the right time. But if you do it flip flop it, you train first, do your pit bag work, everything. Now you're fatigued. Now you get in the ring. Now you got to really think. Now you really got to bring your end game, and that's the way you work on the back end of the fight.
Learn how to fight exhausted, like Emmanuel used to say.
Exactly.
Right? Gotcha.
You have to, and that will help him, man. But yeah, I'm glad Ward is helping him out, man. I mean,
We couldn't get Ward Canelo like you wanted, but we're getting Ward in the same ballpark as Canelo.
You know what, man? I've been studying Plant. Plant, he puts his punches together, his combinations together very, very well, man. And he doesn't telegraph his punches, and that's awesome. Like, that's hard. Like, a lot of guys, we'll load up and we'll telegraph. Like, when we shoot the jab, we'll cock it, then shoot it. Like, when his punches come out, they're smooth. They're sharp, crisp, got some pop on it, and he's very defensively sound, got some good legs. So, I give him a really good chance in competing with Canelo and possibly beating him. But that second half is where things are going to heat up for him, and he better be ready. He better be ready physically and mentally, man.
Canelo Plant, by the way, you got
I think that's an
what
amazing
chance
fight.
do you think Caleb does better than Billy Joe Saunders?
I think so.
Yeah.
Caleb's an amazing fighter. I think he's gonna do really well. But again, that's one of those fights. Canelo can always end the fight at any moment in time. But then Caleb is also very skillful. So I think it's very, very exciting.
You think Caleb will surprise Canelo or surprise people with?
There's a big chance
with the
out of all
speed and the strength.
Out of all of the people that Canelo has fought in the higher division, not including Mayweather, I think that Caleb is going to be the toughest guy in front of Canelo.
In a while, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Canelo versus Plant, man. How does that go?
Great, man. Great fight. Love Plant. Love what he brings into the ring. We know Canelo and whatever pork he been eating, the boy is strong. You know what I'm saying? We know he's strong, and we know Plant ain't ever been with nobody that strong, I think it's a great fight. Canelo got a little, I didn't watch it. Some people say he got a little exposed, because he got his movement now. He's got his, he know how to step back now. It's not in a lot of Mexican fighters, protocol, that nice little step back. Mayweather taught him a few things. He said, oh, I can duck. Oh, I can pull. I can take to the left. You know what I mean? And now Canelo's got a little bit of this and that. But American fighters, we've had that for a long time, Canelo. We had that for a long time. Not to say what you don't do ain't pretty. It's pretty, boy, because you was flat-footed, you was walking forward, and Floyd showed you how limited that style was, okay, with his speed and his athletic ability. No one else has done it, though. He's had great challenges. Triple G should have took him in the first rodeo. He didn't. They went to a draw, and then Canelo outperformed him. What happened, GGG? We don't know. We don't care no more. Canelo went past that. So, I do think that in these divisions that there are great challenges for Canelo, and this Plant fight is a great challenge for both fighters at this point of their career.
A lot of Canelo's strengths have been heavily stated by everyone who's talked about this particular fight between Canelo and Caleb Plant. But I'd like to get your take on what are your keys to victory for Caleb Plant? What does Caleb Plant have to do to have his hand raised against Canelo Alvarez?
Just box smart, box hard. You know, I mean, I think he's capable. The thing about Canelo is he's, you know, even with that step back, he's still a pressure fighter. He's still just waiting to drop that power shot, hit you with that body shot, hit you with that uppercut. He is a legitimate power puncher. So, you know, one of the biggest keys to victory is don't get caught by that power, you know.
Got Caleb Plant, Canelo. Like, it's official. We got Caleb all over the place right now. He is convinced.
I've seen a lot
He's convinced.
coming out of Caleb. I like that, actually. That tells me it's going to be a much better fight. I see the confidence. I see the drive, the hunger.
Yes.
Which turns to motivation for him. And if he's that motivated and that passionate and hungry about it, then that means he's going to fight his ass off. You know, he's not going in there to collect a paycheck.
Yeah.
He's not going there to take a knee and collect a paycheck and walk away with a big purse.
So you can respect that.
He's there to fight. I can respect that. And he actually does have very good skills. You know, he does have very good skills, good boxing skills, good ring generalship, boxing abilities are very, very high. I still feel Canelo wins just because he's been unstoppable in his last fights. That strength and power and size Canelo has, it's hard to stop. And that's why I feel Canelo wins. But Caleb does have the skills to upset. He's gonna have to fight the perfect fight for every minute of each round for 12 rounds straight. But if he does that, then he can pull it off.
Canelo versus Plant.
It's a great fight, you know. Caleb Plant, he's a great fighter. He has speed, and you know, he is a great fighter, a great guy. Canelo, you know, he's at his time right now. He's his prime. I think he's one of the best right now, pound for pound. I think he's number one pound for pound. But you know, it's hard right there because you know, Caleb Plant, he's one of my teammates. He fights for us, so he's in the same with everything. So I gotta root for him. But you know, Canelo's a great guy, a great fighter, and it's gonna be a great fight. Great fight for the fans. And well, you know, at the end of the day, may the best man win.
I would like to see Caleb get that fight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he deserves it. I don't know if you know his life story, you know what happened. He's got a crazy life story, you feel me? And I feel like that's the type of fighter that you need to give a Canelo a good fight or even beat him. You need that somebody who has that special extra motivation inside. And I think he has. I think that'd be a good fight. You know, Canelo's on a different level right now. You know, he's believing in himself 120% physically, mentally. So Canelo's gonna be a tough fighter to beat right now, but I feel like Caleb Plant deserves the opportunity to fight him.
What about Canelo Plant? What is your opinion? Who's gonna win?
I love that fight. I love Caleb. That's my boy. Canelo is Canelo at the end of the day. I want to see, you know, how Caleb can take the pressure. I think he's a beautiful boxer. He reminds me, you know, of myself a little bit. I can't say too much now. He got a little similarities. So I'm excited. Of course, I'm going with Caleb for that. I'm rocking with Caleb. I want him to win, but